The crime rate in the city of St. Louis is at an all-time high, leaving thousands of families mourning the loss of their loved ones. And joining us now is Pastor Mia Curry to discuss the death of her daughter and how she is empowering people in the community to be productive citizens. Mia, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
I want to share your personal story here in just a minute, but just to give people an idea of where you're coming from. I know that you were born and raised in St. Louis.
Yes, I attended Harrison School, actually, and Yateman, and I graduated from Ritter College Prep.
Okay. And you just never left, huh?
Never.
And North St. Louis your whole life?
I love North St. Louis.
How come?
I love North St. Louis. I stayed there for over 30 years in that community. There's something about North St. Louis that is just home for me.
I understand that, and but by the same token, North St. Louis is facing some issues that maybe make it difficult for you sometimes.
It makes it difficult, I don't want to say every day, but living in a city or even hearing about things that happens in specifically North St. Louis is difficult because of, especially now that I have a relation with it, with my daughter.
Okay, let's talk about that. You're the mother of three.
Yes.
And you received a phone call just about 3 years ago. It was on August 8th of 2015. Was this call out of the blue?
This call was totally out the blue.
Who was it?
I can remember someone saying, "She's gone, she's gone." And I was informed that my daughter was murdered on Natural Bridge Avenue. I went to the crime scene, and I think the most difficult thing for me being a mother is looking at that tape around my child.
Police tape?
Yes. And then having to not even have any in between, and there I am, have to identify her body. But I tell people, I say, the thing that I remember that kind of like, I won't say haunts me, but kind of like, I remember her blood. I remember her blood on the ground. And that there is my driver for Empowerment Day.
When you say your driver and you say the word empowerment, you're talking about an organization that you started.
I'm talking about there should not be blood from people because of senseless crimes.
What do you know about why your daughter was murdered? What can you share with us about the backstory to that?
Only thing that I can tell you is that her case remains cold, and we are still seeking some resolutions.
Did someone shoot from a car as they were driving by, or do you know?
You're talking with my daughter, that was a speeding hit and run. From my understanding, she was crossing the street and someone was speeding, racing.
Oh, I see.
Racing. And that's how it happened.
How old was she?
21.
21. Tell me about Jasmine. And she used to go, people used to call her Jazz, right?
Yeah, that was my Jazzy J. And
Jazzy J?
Jazzy J was my name for her. And Jasmine loved animals. I had several animals in the house. I still cannot find a turtle, But she was in culinary also. She loved to cook.
Really?
I can say that Jasmine was the child of mine that she took care of her mom. When I needed to, she would have been here taking care of me. So I will say this is that this past weekend, her son, he did something that he's never done.
And he's got to be really young.
Xavier was 3 years old when it happened, and now he's 5. And I call him Buster, okay? And he had his mom's picture with him this weekend, and he was just, oh mama, and just talking to her. And then he said to me, I miss her all the time.
I'm going to stop you right there. But you've done something to not forget her. You wouldn't forget her anyway, but you've done something to help other people, and I want to tell people about that ministry, or have you tell them about it, and about an event you have coming up right after this break. So stay with us here at STL Live. We have more with them about Empowerment Day right after this break.